Good evening, everyone. Hi, I'm Sean, and this is Sean for Help. Wanted to give a big shout out to anybody that was over on Cab 7 channel and decided to come over here and say hello. Glad to have you. Always welcome. For new time viewers, please stick around. I've got a few things to say tonight that I hope that would help you. And if you came here by recommendation, I'd like to thank the person who recommended my channel to you. And thanks for being here so much. What I want to talk about tonight is how you can be controlled by somebody else when you lose your cool. It's very simple. You lose your power over yourself very simply by letting anger, fear, frustration, and generally getting caught in your passions and your emotions so much so that you lose sense of your reasoning. Whenever you're either talking with somebody, you see something you don't like, and this other thing then, or this other person then controls you. And there's no peace in this. You can't find happiness. You can't find peace. Unless, of course, this is what you want. There's another side to the coin that goes to this, and I'll explain that later on, that makes it so that you want that kind of control. Part of it is that, bluntly I'll say it, is that you're addicted to your pain. You like the suffering. And there are people who do go through this, and they like to feel down. For those of you who are actually listening to this that want that change to where you're no longer feeling this suffering, this video specifically is for you. I want you to think about how you've lost your cool. You've gone off the deep end. You've gotten so angry, furious, however you want to treat it, afraid. You've let your emotions cloud your senses to where you've now allowed somebody else or something to control you. You're like, well, how was it controlling? I was able to yell back and everything like that. Well, it's fantastic. So you're telling me that if I bring up this topic every time, you're going to act like this, right? Yeah, I am. I'm going to act this way. Okay, fantastic. Poke. Well, you're getting me angry. Poke. Now I'm getting furious. And I'm controlling you because now you've told me what buttons to push to make it so that I can do this at any time. If all of a sudden I don't want you to sit there and have a conversation about something, let's say like we're coworkers, and I don't want you to have a conversation about something because it's going to upset me to think that you're going to do something that's going to change a policy that's going to hurt me, to cost me more money or more time, or I'm not going to be as productive or this or that. And at that point in time, then before we even have this meeting or even during it, poke. And you're going to lose your cool, and guess what? Nobody's going to want to hear you. That's how that works. That's how you're controlled. That's a terrible thing. Because I might want to actually really hear what you have to say, and maybe what you were going to offer, because I didn't hear it clearly, might have been the right thing. So this is just an example. Really, I want to hear everybody regardless of whether I like it or not. I mean, there's a phrase about how I would never want to silence a person. The reason for that is that if a person is a fool, never silence them, because let everybody hear them so that way everybody's sure of it. It's a wise saying. I believe it was Mark Twain. I could be wrong. Understand, I can be wrong. So really listening to somebody else rather than getting upset allows you to have the real power, sometimes to not say anything at all, and realize that this person may just be lost in their own thinking, if it's something that would upset you. Or you're so emotionally attached to it because of past traumas that it is controlling and it's very difficult to get past. This is where sometimes taking a break away and saying, maybe rather than dealing with this argument, I'm going to let somebody else handle it because I'm just going to lose my cool. And I'm going to lose the argument. Everything's going to go bad. I would say that what you would need to consider is a moment of understanding how to take a break from things. Being able to detach yourself from something. Learning how to listen to somebody else and see through their eyes. Maybe you don't agree with it, but at least you can see why they feel the way they do. The other matter is that when you get upset about something, so let's say that somebody said something about you and you're upset about it. Well, you might be upset about it, but you don't need to lose your cool. The other factor of why I'm saying this is that no matter what anybody says, is because it really isn't about you. Well, so-and-so called me a such and such, such and such. Oh, yeah, they did say that, but it still doesn't have anything to do with you. Well, why wouldn't it? They were pointing at me and they were saying this or that. This was about me. About you, but really it doesn't have anything to do with you, because it's about their perception of how they see you, not who you really are. Think about that. If this was really about you, then they'd have to take into effect the fact of how you see the world in such a way that they would have to be you. I've been called everything but a child of God, as I've said in a previous video. I mean, you can call me whatever you want. I'm just going to look at you and go, okay, and here's some other words you could use. Maybe, does that make it better for you? I personally don't care. You can call me whatever you want, but I think the big thing is that this person who wants to call me these names obviously has a problem that they are losing control on. When you lose control, you lose an argument. Okay, so you call me such and such names. My stepdaughter at one point in time called me a fairly bad set of words that would normally be one of those things of I'd be like, wow, that's pretty bad, etc., you're grounded and everything like that. And instead, what I did was I turned around to her very simply and I said, is that the best you got? And these were pretty vile words. I mean, these are things that I'm not going to repeat here because they're pretty vile. And she was upset with me. And then I looked at her and I said, if that's the best you got, I'm going to go ahead and say that you need to come back when you've got better choice of words, because if you're going to try and insult me, you need to try harder. Because really, you ain't got any traction here. That's power. That's the power you should be wanting to have. The fact that you can stand in the light of criticism, regardless what it is, and go, well, if that's how you feel, sorry about your luck. I'm mad about it. It's just how it is. You can't change somebody at times to be how they are. And even if it's something in a shifting gears here, the same situation of losing your cool, if you're in an argument with somebody, meaning you're just competing for the outcome of how this is supposed to work, in an argument, you're arguing against somebody and you do not like the topic at all that they're bringing up. It could be about how people are rolling the toilet paper one way or the other, and you just don't like how this other person's always leaving it one way and you like it the other, and you're fighting with them. Well, rather than starting off with names, etc., when you get frustrated, maybe standing back and going, look, I understand how you feel about this, but I'm going to continue to roll it the way I like because this is how it is. It's most comfortable for me. And see how I'm doing this? You take the passion away from the argument where they're continuing to do the same thing over and over again, because sometimes there are things you can't change. This is just acceptance, not tolerance. There is a difference. Tolerance is that's just basically saying you're okay until I'm not okay with you. That's the difference between tolerance and acceptance. I accept the fact that some people just don't want to change. This is why there are people that have left my life. I've said goodbye to them. They're too toxic. They don't get it. They don't understand that there were things that I just couldn't do. And it doesn't mean I don't like them. It just means I don't want to be around their destructiveness. For the toilet paper roll situation, I've seen people who have, and this is the funny part, a his and hers kind of thing, or two hers, two his, however it works out. One roll that's actually set up to where it rolls one way and the other roll is set up to roll the other way. I mean, that's a compromise. But it was done without calling each other names and losing their cool. This is power. This is the real true power, is to be able to understand that if you have control over yourself, you can take the world by storm. Yes, we still get upset. Yes, we still have frustrations. Yes, we are going to be absolutely furious at moments, especially when it comes to how kids can really get up under your skin. It's like that whole thing of, you don't sit down, I'm going to beat you with an inch of your life kind of attitude. Yeah, those things still come up. And there are righteous moments of anger. But when the chips are down and it's important, say like it's politics, everybody gets hot with that one. Keep your cool, because the first person in that argument loses badly at times. You've got plenty of examples with that one. I want you to think about this tonight. I want you to find peace with yourself. I want you to stop suffering. Because when you start losing your cool and you get into these moments of using ad hominem, which is the act of a logical fallacy to call somebody names, you lose greatly in this. Not only with the person that you're fighting against in the argument, but also with people who see you, because at that point in time, if you can't keep your cool with them, who says you're going to keep your cool with others? That's a big deal. I don't want you to lose your friends because of a point in matter to where you lost your cool, or people of influence. I want you to have your personal power back. I want you to understand what it's like to have you back. Learn how to take control of yourself by just letting it go, seeing what happens, talk it through. Doesn't mean don't fight for what you know is right. Don't fight for what you need to be. If it's something it's for yours and there's a competition at work to be the best employee, and do your best for it. Or even if you're trying to show somebody that you actually do care when they're not wanting to listen, sometimes they're not going to listen and they're still going to do what they're going to do. But the minute that you lose your cool, you lose your personal power. Time to take that back. If anything I would offer as a suggestion, take the time to just meditate on this. Think about it. Chew on it for a while. I can be wrong, but I think you're starting to see how powerful this is, and maybe it's something that you might want to take into your life. And if you do, great, fantastic. If you like this video, please, yeah, there you go. Please press like, and if you want to stick around for more, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell for when I put up new videos. And otherwise, have a great day. Namaste for everybody else that's more in that line of spirituality. God bless for those who are needing to hear that. For everybody else, love and light. And have a fantastic time watching these videos when you do. I look forward to hearing your comments, seeing what you have to say below. I'll take suggestions if you want to see something else that I'd have to offer from this. But you guys have a great night. Take care.